Have you ever stood at the bottom of a staircase, and just stared? Not because you were admiring the carpet or the railings, but because you were quietly preparing for the ache in your knees, the slow burn in your hips, the tight pull in your back? Maybe you've told yourself, it's just part of getting older. Maybe you've even laughed it off with a little groan and a joke, these knees have seen better days. But deep down, it stings a little, doesn't it? Because once upon a time, stairs were nothing. You ran up them. 2 steps at a time. Never thinking twice. And now, something as simple as climbing from one floor to another feels like a mountain. You start to wonder, is this just how it goes now? One little loss at a time? But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if you could wake up one morning and actually look forward to moving again? Imagine going up those same stairs, and this time, there's no ache. No hesitation. Just confidence in every step. No pain in your joints. No fear of falling. Just you, walking tall, steady and strong, like you used to. Now I know that might sound a little too good to be true. I get it. I'm 85, and trust me, I've heard every promise under the sun. Pills, ointments, machines, you name it. But I'm not here to sell you a miracle. I'm here to share something real. Something simple. Something I started doing every morning on an empty stomach. That slowly and quietly changed everything. No, it's not a prescription. Not a supplement you have to chase down at a special pharmacy. It's an oil. Just 1 tablespoon of it. That's it. And yet, that 1 tablespoon did more for my joints, my energy, and my movement than years of creams and capsules ever did. In today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly what this oil is, why it works, and how it helped me go from wincing at the first step, to climbing stairs with ease and even joy. By the end of this video, you'll learn how this humble oil might just become your new best friend in the fight against daily aches and stiffness. We're talking better movement, less pain, more freedom. And no, you won't need to flip your whole lifestyle upside down to get there. But before we dive into it, I want to ask you something from the heart. Have you ever tried a natural remedy for joint pain? Did it work? Did it disappoint? Or are you still searching for something that finally makes a difference? If you're here because you want a life with less pain and more control, then you're in the right place. So do me a favor. Comment, "I'm here," down below. Let me know you're watching, and you're ready. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to join our growing family here at Elderly Wisdom Guide, where we share honest, time-tested tips that help you age with strength, dignity, and a little more peace of mind. Now, let's get into it. A few years ago, I dreaded stairs. You know that feeling, you're standing there, looking up, knees already whispering their protest. You take the first step, and there's that familiar ache, not sharp, but deep, persistent, like something grinding quietly beneath the surface. It followed me all day. From the stairs, to the porch, to simply getting in and out of the car. I told myself it was normal. I mean, I was already in my 80s. What did I expect, right? Then one morning, over tea, an old friend, older than me, if you can believe it, leaned in and said, "Try this oil in the morning, on an empty stomach." It helped me move like I did 20 years ago. Now, I'm no fool. I've lived long enough to know that not every home remedy works. But something in his voice made me pause. He wasn't trying to convince me, he was just sharing what worked for him. So, I figured, why not? I had nothing to lose. I started small. Just 1 tablespoon every morning, before anything else. No toast. No coffee. Just the oil, and a glass of room temperature water. First few days, not much happened. But then, after maybe 2 or 3 weeks, something shifted. I noticed I wasn't groaning as much when I stood up. My knees didn't argue with me when I bent down to tie my shoes. The dull throbbing in my joints? It started to ease. It didn't vanish overnight, but it got quieter. Softer. More manageable. And one morning, without thinking, I walked up the stairs to get a sweater, and halfway up, I stopped. Because there was no pain. I just climbed. Smooth. Easy. Like I had been given back a small piece of myself. That's when I started digging into what this oil actually does inside the body. Turns out, it's not magic. It's science. This oil, extra virgin olive oil, by the way, is packed with something called oleocanthal. A natural anti-inflammatory compound. And I'm not talking about some obscure herbal theory, this stuff has been studied. In fact, researchers have compared its effect to ibuprofen, because it works on the same inflammatory pathways in the body. The difference? No side effects. No gut discomfort. No foggy brain. You see, inflammation is often the hidden villain behind joint pain. It's not just wear and tear, it's your body reacting, swelling, tightening, and making it harder for you to move. When you calm that inflammation down, even just a little, everything starts to feel easier. But here's the part that most people get wrong. They think joint pain can only be fixed with medication, or even worse, that it's something you just have to live with. They assume that unless it's surgery or a strong pill, it's not worth trying. But that's not true. Inflammation responds to what you put in your body. It can quiet down. And when it does, the pain that felt so constant starts to lose its grip. So, what do? I keep it simple. 1 tablespoon. Every morning. No skipping. No excuses. Just me, the oil, and a glass of water. I wait about 20 minutes before I eat or drink anything else. That's the trick, you've got to give it time to work on an empty stomach. And believe me, it's worth it. Now, don't get me wrong, I still have the occasional ache. I'm not 25. But I can tell you this, I don't fear the stairs anymore. I don't dread walking out to get the mail or playing with my great-grandkids in the backyard. That oil gave me a little freedom back. But here's the thing, pain relief is just the beginning. Because what happened next, that truly surprised me. Now I'll be honest with you. When I first started taking that oil in the morning, all I was hoping for was a little relief from the creaks and cracks in my knees. I wasn't expecting anything more than that. But about 2 weeks in, I noticed something strange. I felt lighter. Not just in my legs. Not just in my back. But up here, in my head. For the first time in what felt like ages, I was waking up without that heavy, dragging feeling. You know the one. That mental fog where everything feels a bit slow and cloudy, like your brain's walking through syrup. I used to spend the first hour of every morning just trying to wake up. Coffee didn't even cut through it anymore. But all of a sudden, I was waking up clear. My thoughts were sharper. I wasn't searching for words mid-sentence, or forgetting why I walked into a room. I had more focus. I even felt like smiling more in the mornings. And that was when I realized, something deeper was happening here. So, I did what I always do when something surprises me, I looked into it. Turns out, it wasn't just my imagination. You see, healthy fats, especially the kind found in this particular oil, are like premium fuel for your brain. They nourish the very cells that carry your thoughts, your memories, your ability to reason. This oil helps support the structure of your brain's communication lines, your neurotransmitters. And because it also helps regulate your blood sugar levels, you don't get those mid-morning crashes that leave you tired and snappy. Instead, you get a steady, gentle flow of energy that actually lasts. No jitters. No spike and crash. Just calm, sustained clarity. But here's where many people, especially older adults, make a mistake. They either skip breakfast completely, or they grab something sugary and quick, like a muffin, or toast with jam, or a bowl of cereal. It feels comforting, sure, but it sends your blood sugar soaring, only to crash an hour later. And when that crash hits, you feel groggy, moody, exhausted. Some even mistake it for depression or memory loss, when in fact, it's just poor fueling. What I found was this: how you start your day determines how the rest of it feels. And the combination of this oil first thing in the morning, followed by a small, balanced breakfast, maybe some eggs, a piece of fruit, or a slice of whole grain toast with nut butter, it makes a difference. A real difference. I started feeling more present. Conversations became easier. I didn't have to fight to focus or chase thoughts around my head like butterflies. I could sit, think, read. Even write letters again without getting mentally tired. And for someone my age, that's a gift you don't take lightly. So, if you've been waking up foggy, or struggling to stay energized throughout the day, before you add more coffee or reach for another snack, try this. Just 1 tablespoon of the oil on an empty stomach. Give it 20 minutes. Then eat something gentle but nourishing. And give it a few days. Or a week. You might be surprised by what you notice. Many folks I've shared this with have come back and said the exact same thing: I feel clearer. Lighter. Like myself again. Because feeling better isn't just about the body, it's about the mind, too. And clearer thinking is a beautiful thing. But as I started moving better and thinking clearer, there was still one part of me I hadn't thought much about, the part that's been with me through every joy, every loss, every single heartbeat since the day I was born. My heart. And what this oil did for my heart, that's where the story gets even more interesting. You know, I've lived long enough to understand that the heart doesn't just break over lost love. Sometimes, it breaks under pressure. And believe me, I've had my share of scares. A little chest tightness here, a dizzy spell there. I used to brush them off, like most of us do. It's just stress, I'd say. But deep down, I knew better. I'd sit in the waiting room at the clinic, fingers crossed, hoping those blood pressure readings wouldn't spike too high this time. And those cholesterol numbers? They crept up on me, year after year. Slowly. Silently. Until one day, my doctor gave me that look, the kind that says, it's time to take this seriously. I'll admit it, I was worried. I had visions of pills piled up on my counter, strict diets, constant monitoring. But then I remembered something simple. That same oil that had helped my knees and cleared my head, could it really help my heart, too? So, I stuck with the routine. 1 tablespoon in the morning. Every single day. Rain or shine. And after a few months, I went in for another checkup. I wasn't expecting much. Maybe a few small improvements. But when the doctor looked at my numbers, he raised his eyebrows, then looked at me and said, "What have you been doing differently?" I just smiled. "Only thing I've changed," I told him, "is a spoonful of oil every morning." And sure enough, my blood pressure had dropped. My cholesterol levels had balanced out. Even my heart rhythm, steady as a drum. Turns out, this oil is more than just a kitchen ingredient. It's like giving your heart a daily hug. See, studies have shown it does 3 powerful things. 1, it helps increase HDL, the good cholesterol that cleans up the bad stuff floating around in your blood. 2, it helps lower LDL, the kind that clogs your arteries. And 3, it keeps those same arteries from hardening, which reduces your risk of things like heart attacks and strokes. And the best part? It doesn't just prevent problems. It nurtures your heart, keeps it strong, steady, and supported. But here's where so many people, especially older adults, get misled. We've been told for years that low fat means heart healthy. But that's only part of the truth. The kind of fat you eat matters more than how much. Your heart doesn't need less fat. It needs the right fat. And this oil, pure, cold-pressed, extra virgin olive oil, it's one of the best sources out there. Now here's my advice, simple and practical. Keep using it every morning on an empty stomach, yes. But also, bring it into your kitchen. Drizzle it on your salads. Use it on steamed vegetables. Even mix it into soups just before serving. Just don't cook it at high heat. When the oil gets too hot, it breaks down, and you lose the benefits. So keep it cool or warm, not sizzling. The way I see it, this oil is a form of kindness. Not just to your joints or your mind, but to that beautiful, hard-working heart that's been beating faithfully for you all these years. It gave me peace of mind, a calmer rhythm, and more confidence in every breath. But while all that was happening on the inside, something else was happening on the outside. And it took me a while to realize it, but it changed how I felt every single day. Because I wasn't just feeling better, I was moving better. And what that did to my spirit? Well, let me tell you. You know, for the longest time, I avoided walks. Not because I didn't want to move. I wanted to. I missed the fresh air, the quiet hum of the world outside, the feel of the earth beneath my shoes. But the truth is, it hurt. My ankles would stiffen. My knees would click and protest. My lower back would tighten up before I even made it to the mailbox. So, I stopped trying. Told myself, maybe those days are behind me. But I remember the first day I realized something had changed. It was a Sunday morning. Clear skies. The birds were already busy doing their thing. I looked out the window and thought, maybe just a short stroll. So, I slipped on my shoes, took my usual cautious first few steps down the driveway, but something was different. My ankles didn't resist. My knees didn't groan. My back felt relaxed. Smooth. Easy. I kept walking. Just down to the corner and back. But by the time I returned, I felt lighter. Not just because of the movement, but because of the absence of pain. And I realized something I hadn't felt in years. My joints didn't feel dry and stiff. They felt oiled. Like someone had finally loosened the rusted hinges. And it made me wonder, how long had I been putting up with tightness I thought was just normal? You see, over time, stiffness creeps in. It doesn't shout. It whispers. You start reaching for handrails. Taking shorter steps. Sitting more, moving less. And before you know it, you've built a routine around avoiding discomfort. But once that pain lets go, even a little, it's like someone opens the door to your life again. Now, let me tell you why this matters. This oil I've been talking about? It doesn't just sit in your stomach. It travels. It works throughout your system. It helps to hydrate your joints from the inside out. The same way oil keeps your frying pan slick, it keeps your bones from grinding against each other. Your cartilage, the soft cushion between bones, needs nutrients to stay strong. And your synovial fluid, the natural lubricant inside your joints, needs support too. This oil contributes to both. But here's the mistake I see people make. They pop pills. They rub creams. They wear heat patches. And while those things might give temporary relief, they often ignore what's happening on the inside. Because if your body doesn't have the right kind of fuel, nutrients that keep tissues healthy and joints moving freely, then you're only masking the symptoms, not helping the root of the issue. That's why nutrition is key. That's why consistency matters. 1 tablespoon every morning. No skipping. Then, move. Gently. Kindly. No marathons. No pressure. Just strolls. Even a lap around the house is enough. It's not about pushing your limits. It's about reclaiming the freedom to move. On your own terms, without fear of pain stopping you. I take 2 walks a day now. Not long ones. But every step feels like a gift. I stretch without groaning. I bend without bracing myself. My body feels more forgiving. Like it remembers how to move, and it's grateful I gave it the tools to do so. And here's what surprised me most: the more I moved, the more I wanted to move. That's something nobody tells you. When your body stops hurting, your spirit starts dancing again. But let me tell you. While easier movement and better flexibility changed my days, there was still one unexpected shift that caught me off guard. A benefit most people overlook. Because sometimes, the quietest problems cause the biggest discomfort. And what this oil did for my digestion, that's a story not enough people are telling. Let me share something that might sound small to some people, but if you've ever lived with it, you know how frustrating it can be. I used to wake up with that bloated, heavy feeling in my stomach. Like I'd eaten a feast in my sleep. Mornings were uncomfortable. Pants felt tighter. I'd sit down for breakfast already feeling full, and not in a good way. And then there was the other issue. Let's not dance around it: constipation. Quiet. Annoying. And frankly, embarrassing. It's not something we like to talk about, but I'll be the one to say it out loud. When your digestion slows down, everything feels sluggish. Your mood dips. Your energy drops. Your appetite disappears. And it becomes this unspoken weight you carry through the day. I thought it was just part of getting older. Something I had to tolerate. But then, that morning oil routine started changing more than just my joints and energy. One morning, I realized I hadn't felt that heavy, bloated sensation in a while. And, without giving too many details, my bathroom rhythm, as I call it, had quietly become regular. Easy. Predictable. No more sitting around waiting. No more feeling stuck and uncomfortable. It didn't happen overnight, but it happened. So, I did a bit of digging, because that's what I do when something surprises me. And the science made complete sense. That oil. It stimulates bile production, which your body uses to break down fats and move food through the digestive system. It also soothes the gut lining, especially if you take it first thing in the morning before food, giving your intestines a gentle reset before the rest of the day begins. And here's the part most people overlook. We spend so much money, so much time, taking expensive supplements. Multivitamins, calcium, magnesium, D3, B12. But here's the truth that no one talks about. If your gut isn't absorbing nutrients properly, all those pills, they're just passing through. It's like trying to water a dead plant with a golden watering can. It looks fancy, but it won't do a thing if the soil isn't ready. That's why digestion matters. That's why absorption matters. And that's why this oil, this simple, daily act of nourishment, has made such a difference in how I feel. My meals go down easier. I feel less bloated. I don't reach for antacids or fiber supplements like I used to. But let me give you a tip, something I've learned along the way: pair that morning tablespoon with fiber later in the day. Not immediately, not right away. Let the oil do its work first thing. Then later on, maybe lunch or dinner, bring in the fiber. Think vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans. That combination? It's like giving your gut a balanced toolbox. And don't forget water. Please, drink water. A lot of people in our age group confuse dehydration with hunger or tiredness. Keep a glass nearby. Sip through the day. Your body needs it, especially if you're helping it flush out toxins and keep things moving. All of these little improvements, the digestion, the clarity, the freedom from joint pain, the comfort in your heart and spirit, they didn't just make me feel healthier. They made me feel more connected to my body again. And that connection? That awareness of every step, every breath, every moment of ease, it added up to something I never expected. Something not just physical, but deeply emotional. And that's what changed everything. You know, we often think the big victories in life are the loud ones. Graduations. Weddings. Promotions. But as I've gotten older, I've learned, the quiet victories? They're the ones that matter most. To walk up a flight of stairs without gripping the rail. To reach for a book on the top shelf without wincing. To stand up from your chair without bracing your arms or holding your breath. These moments, they're not just physical. They're emotional victories. They whisper to you, you're still here. You're still strong. You still have control. And when you've spent years slowly letting go of things, activities you loved, movements you used to do without thinking, those little wins, they feel like pieces of yourself coming home. You see, there's a message out there that tells us to just accept decline. You're getting older, what do you expect? We hear it so often, we start to believe it. But I'm here to tell you, it's not always true. Sometimes, decline isn't the end. Sometimes, it's just the body's way of asking for help. Because when you start giving it what it really needs, not drugs, not complicated regimens, just real, simple support, you'd be amazed what starts to come back. We don't have to surrender our independence. We don't have to accept stiffness, fog, or fatigue as our new normal. We can reclaim little moments. And those little moments? They lead to big change. So, here's my gentle challenge to you, if you or someone you love is struggling with daily movement. If standing up is a task, if mornings feel heavy, if your joints are stealing your joy, why not try this? Just 1 tablespoon. First thing in the morning. Every day. For a week. Don't expect fireworks on day 1. But stay with it. Watch closely. Feel what your body tells you. Because that's what changed things for me. Not a fancy gadget. Not a big diagnosis. Just one small, quiet decision, done consistently. And now, at 85, I walk lighter. I move freer. I breathe deeper. I live stronger than I did at 70. And if that's possible for me, why not for you? That gives me hope. Hope for myself. Hope for you. And hope for every single person who thinks it's too late to feel good again. Let's take a moment to look back. Today, we talked about 5 powerful benefits that came from just one simple habit: reduced joint pain and inflammation, boosted energy and clearer thinking, stronger heart support, easier, more confident movement, improved digestion and better nutrient absorption. And it all started with a single spoonful of olive oil on an empty stomach. Simple. Natural. Transformative. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these benefits surprised you the most? Or maybe you've tried something natural that worked wonders for your own health. Let's learn from one another. Drop your story in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video helped you think differently about aging, if it gave you even a little spark of hope, go ahead and click the like button. It helps more people find this message. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. This is a place where we share real stories, honest advice, and gentle encouragement, every single day, just for you. Aging doesn't have to be something we fear. It can be something we embrace. With wisdom. With grace. With support. So, thank you. Thank you for spending these moments with me. Thank you for caring about your health, your independence, and your peace of mind. Remember this, every day is a chance to feel better. To move freer. To live fuller. Until next time, my friend. Stay well. Stay strong. And stay wise.